Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my research with so many wonderful researchers and also industry practitioners. So I find it's really beneficial to listen to other presentations. So today my topic is working with service robots, implications in job design. So as our previous presenter mentioned that, so when we are embracing technologies, a lot of attention has been paid to customer needs and customer wants. This is determined by our service intensive and service orientation nature of our industry. But on the other hand, we also know that we need to treat our internal customer well. We need to know their needs and wants in order for them to take care of our customers. So same principle apply to when we are facing challenges and innovations in technology, and when we are using a lot of innovations such as service robot in our traditional work environment. So this is going to change how employees perceive their job, how they are performing their job. And in order to provide a better environment and for smooth transition of employees to embrace the changes, we need to have important consideration reflection regarding what considerations need to be taken into account for employees' job design. Just a little bit broad background about the use of service robot. According to a recent prediction, global market for service robot will reach up to $70.1 billion by 2032. So this is huge amount of market size. At this moment, service robot has already been applied in different sectors, such as in logistics sectors, in delivery service robot, cleaning robots, and most recent application was in restaurant and also hotel in other sectors. Also, there are service robots that has been applied in other sectors. Several driving forces contribute to the popularity of service robot in our discipline. Apparently, technology advancement, making it possible to provide different functions and utilities for different types of service robot, and the increasing cost in labor as well as high turnover in our field has been always a challenge, and we need to find creative solutions to address the challenge. Competition has been ever increasing in different sectors of the industry, and using service robot can be a unique starting point for a lot of hospitality and tourism business, such as in restaurant. Service robot and robotics themed restaurant has been quite popular in different destinations and can attract customers to really visit there and try the product and service and then bring return business to the restaurant sector. COVID, also our industry has been struck by COVID. And on the other hand, COVID also forced a lot of hospitality and tourism organizations to be creative, to find creative solutions, and using service robot has been one of them. So COVID has been serving as a catalyst for the adoption of service robot. During and post-COVID pandemic, there has been a great resignation. A lot of people, we are losing a lot of people, and a lot of sectors are having difficulty to recruit people. And we do have a labor shortage. We do have a challenge to attract people who left the industry to come back. So there are other factors, so just mention a few here. And here are a few examples about service robot application in our field. I believe many of you have experienced or maybe at least heard about it or saw this application in different kind of social media and their unique selling points. So here in hotel, we can see delivery robot. And for example, in one of the hotel, Fly Zoo Hotel in mainland China, and they're using different kind of service robot to do to replace traditional function like check-in, check-out, and serve delivery as well, and also in restaurant service as well. And here's example of service robot application. It's more like a not like a service. It's more like a using robot to replace the function of chef. And this restaurant name is spice restaurant located in Boston, which was founded by actually a few recent graduates from MIT, rather than from the hospitality majors students. But we do see an interdisciplinary collaboration. And this restaurant, they actually, when they design the menus, they consult a celebrity chef in New York City, and then they design the menu to make sure that they have a good balance of taste, nutrition, as well as fitting, the capacity of this robot chef. And here is an example of service robot application. We even have a theme park of robots, and in South Korea. And here we do see we also get more used to service robot in airports and other contexts as well. So I'm going to move to something more particular and specific. So I'm going to share some of my studies on service robot. So the first study I'm going to share is about service robot application in restaurant context. So we did a comparative study about service robot restaurant in United States and robot restaurant in China. We applied two theoretical perspectives, the product level theory and experience economy model perspectives. The reason why we are motivated to do the study, for one, was we want to see the differences in and preferences of robot application in China and also in US, because they represent two very big markets in terms of hospitality and in terms of consumers. And the other aspect we want to look at is also service robot research has been popular, but we do find gaps in literature that not many analyses are building on strong theoretical framework. And most of the research focus on customers' perspective, but little focus on operators' perspective. We believe that different decisions of using service robot at different product level, either it is a co-product level, as demonstrated in the figure on the left, or at the generic product level, expected level, or augmented or potential product level, may have different influence on customer experiences. And we want to include both the operator's perspective as well as customer's perspective when we are doing the analysis. We included 4 robot restaurants, 2 in United States and 2 in China. The 2 restaurants in United States were Spice Restaurant and also Creator Restaurant. And then the other 2 in China one was Haidilao, which is like hot pot restaurant, and which is a restaurant chain quite popular in China. And the other one is Robot He Restaurant. We examined from first the product level theory perspective, and we use mystery shopper, and we also use participant observation method. And when we are trying to analyzing which level of products were replaced by service robot, which level were still operated by a human. And then based on the analysis, we do find similarities as well as differences between restaurant robot application in the United States, as well as robot restaurant in China. We do have a limitation in this research because this research was conducted before some fully automatic restaurants were operated in China. So I know that in China, in Guangzhou, Guangdong area, so there was a fully automatic restaurant. The 2 included in the analysis at that time still rely on for the co-products, which we refer to cooking. But the co-product was still performed by human. While the generic product, expected product, we do have a lot of application using robot technology and service robot. And for the co-functions in the United States at that time, they tend to focus on replacing the co-function, which is the cooking process. Both of the restaurants actually used service robot or robot chef to prepare food. Well, they didn't pay enough attention in the augmented product level compared with robot restaurant in China. So we do see a differences of preferences when adopting robot service robot in restaurant operation. we also look into customer experience, how different decision in which level product we're going to replace using robot and which one we're going to keep with using human employees. And we look at what kind of implication does it have on service experience. So we collected customer comments from major social media, both in the US and also in China. And then we analyzed the frequency of words and the keywords, as well as some sentiment analysis were also performed. And then we use the framework of experience economy to analyze the popularity of different things. And we can see quite a clear differences on the allocation as well as the importance and popularity of different things in different dimensions. We find a gap in the escapism dimensions and also very limited representation in education dimensions among US restaurants. And there are a lot of focus on aesthetics and there are a lot of focus on entertainment as well. And on the other hand, for the 2 robot restaurants in China, we do find a very extensive focus on entertainment and aesthetic experience. We have some kind of representation in escapism and some representation on education aspect as well. So during the participant observation, I actually had my elder son to go to one of the robotic restaurants. He actually provided a very interesting observation because he was expecting to see real robots serving food and taking orders and then providing entertainment. But the restaurant in Boston, they purely focus on the cooking process and automatic ordering process and touch screens thing. So which is different from his perception of a service robot and a robotic restaurant. This actually reflects a lacking of escapism dimension in the restaurant we observed. And this also means give us some very interesting implication. So although, you know, it's a big decision to decide which product level to use service robot, which not. Actually using robot in co-product level could cost quite a lot compared with using robot in entertainment level or in the augmented levels. But we do find that although they make different decisions in product level, they may have similar effects on customer experience. So it is interesting finding that, you know, we don't necessarily need to invest significantly if we focus on customer experience. And another study I want to highlight was, you know, because we eventually it is the employee who are working with service robot. And unless it is a fully automatic robotic restaurant, we still need employee to support anyway. And we have some current and also future studies. And most of this study, I collaborate with my PhD student, such as Danny, and also we have another student in Australia as well. So, so we are interested in how robot characteristics could influence employees' perception and performance, such as robot appearance, you know, whether they look like a human or they look like more like an animal or look like more like a machine, how robots' gender and how robots like even language they speak may influence employees' perceived effort, such as cognitive effort and emotional effort, and cognitive and emotional responses, and their perceived psychological resources, their perceived demand and resources as well. And we want to figure out, you know, what kind of design and will influence employees' attitude, engagement, as well as job performance. There are a lot we need to explore, particularly using experimental research design method, because this is something that is just happening or are yet to happen. So using experimental research design, you know, with realistic scenario build could be a very effective way to test effectiveness of different business approach and different business decisions and how they influence employees. And we also want to draw our researchers' attention that we want to know a lot of questions are still yet need to be answered, and such as how can different work and service flows and task allocations as well as support may influence employees' experience. And we also want to consider, you know, because service robot takes quite a lot of space, And then what kind of implication do we have on restaurant service flow and space design, as well as hotel, flow and design as well? We do see some, incidents that, service robots are not smart enough at this stage. So they only can, deliver the food, following the route that is designed for them, even if there is some objects, or even if there is a, customers was kind of blocking the way. And then they will just run over the foot of a customer. So which means that we probably need to some special consideration on back of the house service blueprint, as well as, the spatial design, to make sure that we can provide a friendly environment for both service robot as well as employee. And what kind of training and support are needed for employees in order to help them to adapt to the new changes. And that's all about my presentations. Thank you so much for your attention.